Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video, we're talking about building brand and where your head should be at before you start building your brand. So let's jump right in. The misconception, the huge misconception with building a brand, whether you're an individual, a business, or whatever, is that it comes down to my logo, my font, my social post, my communication strategy. All of those things don't equal brand. They're ways that your brand gets across to people. The brand is what is really going to let you hire people, inspire employees, bring on clients, inspire a movement around what you're doing. It's not, hey, I have a cool logo, or hey, this is how we talk. The brand is what is the impact that has? What is the feeling that those engagements give to people? And that's where you need to be at when you're first developing your brand. An example of this, Apple has gone from just developing hardware to having that persona, that feeling, that human connection. They're not just a computer company. You know the feeling, the emotion that brand gives you when you see them online, when you hear a presentation from them, when you see one of their marketing materials. That brand, it's within you. It's not necessarily just the visual itself. So when you're thinking about getting started, you need to really understand what is the feeling that's going to keep people coming back to you time and time again. What is the emotion? What is the feeling that you're inspiring within those individuals? If you think about it, like, this analogy comes from a guy who I follow on social media, John Henry. The dude is a genius. This is his handle. I highly recommend following him. So think about having a jar, right? And every time that you interact with a customer, every time you post on social media, every time you respond to a complaint, every time you send an email, you're putting another penny into that jar. And as you're putting all of those engagements, those interactions, those elements of your activities into that jar, you're building brand equity. And that jar, as it fills, is your brand, made up of all of these little action items. And what's the underlying tone, the underlying feeling of all of those interactions and engagements that you put into that jar to build your brand, have that brand equity, have a spirit, have an impact on people that's going to build whatever you're going towards, whatever you're moving towards, whatever you want that to be, goofy, funny, insightful, whatever it may be. Use that feeling, that vibe, that inner emotion in all of those engagements to then build your brand. So let's start with feeling and impact before we say, what does our logo look like? What do our social posts sound like? Because if we know what our feeling and our impact is gonna be, then we know how to, we know how to ground our thoughts and our communication around those other elements. So if you're getting into building a brand, if you wanna start building a brand, let's think about feeling. Really dive in on that. Look around online, use some inspiration, hit me in the DMs, reach out to me on email. I'll be happy to talk to you guys about it. And then watch this next video, and we're going to talk about the brand framework that's essential to putting that feeling and that brand into action. I'll see you guys out there. Peace.